Hi, this is James from Drone Deer Services, and please bear with me on this one. We're going to start off at the hotel. I got done with the work for the day. I was waiting for sunset, which here in Northwest Ohio in early May is about 8:30 p.m. So I was patiently waiting for sunset to fly the drone mission around the hotel. I took off. That's a containment pond for the parking lot and the hotel roof. Spin around, kind of give you an idea of where I am. There's a movie theater, a kind of a sports bar. Food's okay. That's about what I'll say about that. There used to be a place called the Red Pig Inn. That was much better, but doesn't exist anymore. This is like a quick glimpse of what you can look at on the roof of the hotel. What I want to do is fly directly over the Hilton Garden Inn, and pretty cool, not sad story, but the flag is at half mast. They found the remains of POW in Vietnam, and they were bringing them back the next day. So that's why the flags were down. Ottoville, Ohio was the where the soldier was from. So please think about the military and what they do. There's the next hotel there. That's the Holiday Inn Express. They also have a containment pond, but this is going to be pretty cool. There's the entrance. Flight restricted area, 200 feet up only. Notice that little field over there to the right with the different color grass. We're going to fly right by it originally. I wanted to go look at some things, but we'll come back to it. As I fly down this kind of dead-end road, you may recognize this from earlier videos, but we're just, at sunset, still legal hunting hours if it was the hunting season. I'm going to speed up between the action. We're going to come back to that inside corner in a little bit, but just looking for deer right away. There's some thermal signatures, deer out in the field, or what I believe were deer. Things, if you fly it and in the evening, I've learned while it's been warm, you should remember that drain there. But if you fly in the evening, a lot of things get warmed up during the day, and you can get some false, what you might believe are deer signatures or wildlife signatures or not. But if they're white and they're moving, they're probably wildlife or some domestic animal. Here's a small herd down here in this what I call CRP field, 4 deer. No signs of fawns yet, which is odd or something. But there's that groundhog burrow to the left that we've seen in earlier videos. And like I said, I'm going to speed up between action. So I'm kind of flying around a neighborhood. I got some ag in a neighborhood here. There's kind of like an old quarry. Again, this area has limestone pretty close to the surface. I'm flying this little timbered area here. Didn't really find too much in editing. I didn't find anything. The deer are out in the grazing in the field. So as I cruise along, looking for it, there's an inside corner, no deer there. And I get to a residence with a nice pond. Again, Ohio and a pond, so a lot of folks have swimming ponds in Ohio. This is a thermal look at it, and then here's the wide-angle look at it. It's pretty nice. We'll talk a little bit about it later, but they're kind of a pain to maintain. And maybe you have to put some things in it that aren't really good for the environment, but we'll talk about that. So I spin around, kind of give you, this is the area I'm in. It's kind of mostly residential, some hotels. I'm flying down a road right here. Remember, 200 feet off the ground. There's an airport pretty close. And I've sped it up a little bit, so that's why the car looks like they're going to a race. But here's a nice little estate, wooded. Not sure if this gentleman hunts or not. There are some ground blinds in this area. Not sure if it's legal to hunt. and in this particular area, but it's okay. Not harming a thing unless he's maybe using a firearm, and recommend something else. But I was just zooming, looking at some deer trails, trying to find some things. Couldn't really find too much after the initial deer. Looking for fawns mostly. So if it was warm and I could zoom in on it, I did. Looking for, like I said, fawns. I'm thinking it's about time for them to be around. So I pan up, I move around, I look for things, look for thermal signatures. There's the power lines. I'm above them. Then I come to that field. This is that field that was on the right as I was leaving the hotel. Thermal signatures right out in the middle. These two right here in particular, kind of hovering above them. You can see the trails that go right through the middle of this. It got pretty good. And then I was looking for the actual deer. So here's a couple deer grazing along. I think the mature doe is on the right, and her coat is darker gray, and the less mature deer is on the left, and that coat is the tan color. Not sure when it changed around. I don't really see any antlers here on that younger deer. There might be a couple bumps there, but again, it was evening and I was losing light, so it was hard, to get really close and zoom. You will see some antlers on upcoming videos, I will say that, and they're finally popping. I probably have a deer that's probably got 3 on each side right now. Nice thick antlers, but you get a little bit of distortion because of their velvet. So I was just kind of watching these deer for a while, spinning around. There was another one to process here. Again, a deer trail. It's kind of a straight deer trail. And just kind of getting in position. Didn't want to bother them. Remember, I'm at 200 feet, and this was an odd thing. So you have a red-winged blackbird landing on the back of a deer. I'm assuming the red-winged blackbird might be eating ticks. That's pretty cool that nature allows that to happen. But look, it's like I'm in Africa, and now it's picking something off the deer's head. But if you think about it, the deer's head's down in the grass, eating or grazing, and then if a tick is in there, then the deer gets a tick on it, and then the circle of life, or whatever you call that, the red-winged blackbird is helping out the deer. There was a warm thing there, but it was a rock. It's a pretty big rock. I thought I lucked out and found a fawn, but I didn't. And as I bounce around here, I just want to give you an idea how far I am away from. That was the Holiday Inn Express. Here's that red-winged blackbird landing on the back of that white-tailed deer again. Kind of Mother Nature taking care of her own here, which was pretty cool. Again, back up to the head, and then fly off into the bush. And that was that's kind of a routine that this particular bird had. So that was pretty cool. This doe looks very pregnant. You notice that after the ribs, there's not a lot of slack in that body right there. And now we're walking all the way up to doe. If they're looking for ticks, whatever they're looking for, it's pretty cool. Just kind of a cool deal, kind of a cool flight. I thought I would share that with the group. Now the doe was kind of like itching at her back. But I spun around, and then just to give you an idea how close I am to the hotel, there's the hotel, Holiday Inn Express. Right there, that's the Holiday Inn Express, and then to the left is the Hilton Garden Inn. Flying around looking for more hot spots, thermal signatures. This deer's walking around. The red-winged blackbird's relatively close to the deer. I'm not sure if a bird has a good enough eyesight to see a tick on the back of a deer. That would be amazing if that was happening. I have a dog, and when we go in the woods, he gets a lot of ticks on him. He has a preventative. The ticks don't, wind up staying on him, but it's just a nuisance. I just wanted to give you an idea how close this deer was to the hotel. I'm guessing no more than 350 yards. I guess I could use Onyx and give you an exact number, but it was just pretty cool. Here's kind of looked like a hot spot, thermal signature, maybe an old deer bed, but it was a bush. So that's kind of what can happen if you fly in the evening on a warmer day. And this was a sunny day, so a lot of things absorb heat during the day, and kind of gave us a false indication. So here's the Hilton Garden Inn. It's kind of the kidney-shaped, or whatever shape that is, pond. They dump a lot of chemicals in this thing. I'm thinking copper sulfate. This is what I was talking about in maintaining these ponds. But it's kind of an electric blue color. You'll see it as I kind of hover above. Again, a residential area. That truck has been parked there on that corner for about the last 3 weeks. Not sure if they're installing cable. There's the movie theater. There's the restaurant. There's another hotel. That is I-75, Interstate 75. And this is just a spin around. And there is the actual field that the deer were in. Here's the electric blue pond with the gazebo. Kind of cool because I was in the gazebo. That's the orange launch pad for the Mavic 3T. So, it's kind of a nice place to fly. The bad thing is the flight restriction height for the airstrip. Excuse me. Now, I had some battery life in me left in the drone, so I want to take another spin around the neighborhood. And this is something I passed up on the first trip, but you're going to see a Buckeye size bait pile right here. It's May, and we're feeding the heck out of these deer. That's a big pile of corn. Three deer standing in it. That's probably, I don't know, a couple 100 pounds of corn, more than a couple bushels. I zoom in here, there's the deer, and they're just, getting used to eating corn. And I imagine when the season comes in, there's a ground blind pretty close, and that's how that guy hunts. So that's a Buckeye bait pile, I'll call that. Buckeye bait pile, so BBP. Kind of get my digs in for the Ohio folks. I was born and raised in Michigan, but I have a lot of relatives in Ohio. But just taking a spin around again, there's the field where the deer are. There's the hotel. You can see the distance, not very far at all. If there were windows on that end of the hotel, you could probably see the deer from your hotel room. Now it's getting later in the evening. One of the deer are laying down here. Very comfortable. Remember, 200 feet off the ground. A little bit breezy. I was kind of, the drone was moving a little bit as far as focus. But I wanted to give you kind of the idea, understanding that, these deer are very relaxed. And this deer is not, the drone is not, disturbing them at all. And look how close we are to the hotel. So here's kind of a view over the field with the boulders and a thermal signature from right above the deer. You'll see that there. And again, I'm only 200 feet up. This is a wide view. You can barely make out the deer there. I'm lowering the drone down to about 117 feet just to see if we can get a better visible photo. And there's the doe. She's looking at the drone, right at the drone. Not really disturbed at all. Was going to do some itching and running out of battery, so I had to skedaddle back to the hotel. Literally, fly the drone back. Again, over the residential neighborhood. Above I forgot that I was 117 feet. I had to get back up to get the landing done safely. It's still getting darker. Kind of a nice area here along the interstate. Hilton Garden Inn, great hotel, great service here. very clean, reasonable rates. Yeah, I don't get any kind of discount for saying that. It's just I spend a lot of time in hotels, and this is a good one. Or I think the guys in the hunting public say this is a good one. But coming in for a landing here above the electric blue pond behind the Hilton Garden Inn. Got to do something about that copper sulfate if that's the chemical they use. I'm gonna come landing here. At the end of the video, there's gonna be one of those smokers ashtray things. I'm not riding you hard if you're a smoker. It's just please think about changing that. I lost my mother to lung cancer, which turned into brain cancer, and she smoked for a total of I think 3 or 4 years, and that wasn't good. So please consider that. Here I am landing. There's that ashtray. The light comes on the drone, and I put it down for a landing. Boomer Outdoorsman over and out. If you like, go ahead and subscribe and let me know you like it. If you don't like these videos, let me know, and we can improve. But thank you very much for watching.